Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Raylene Marks, and we bring you news from Israel Monday to Thursday. Now, today is a very, very important and solemn day in the Israeli calendar. It is Yom Hashoa. Yom Hashoa is the day that we designate to remember the victims, the heroes, and the martyrs of the Shoah, of the Holocaust. We specifically remember the 6 million Jews who were marked for death and murdered by the Nazi monster regime. And this year it's particularly poignant because of the coronavirus. We are kept apart from what we would do annually, which is try and gather with survivors to bear witness, to hear their stories, and to bring them a lot of comfort. And this year many of us are finding it particularly emotional and difficult because of social distancing norms. Yom Hashoa started last night with a very, very poignant ceremony from Yad Vashem, and because of the current situation, it was done without an audience, cutting to the President Ruvi Rivlin, who gave his address, and then to Prime Minister Netanyahu, and to Rabbi Meir Lau, who himself was a survivor of Buchenwald, and to other dignitaries to give addresses. But at Yad Vashem, 6 torches were lit, unfortunately not by survivors this year, although we still got to hear their stories, but they were lit. And for me personally, I think it was the Chazan intoning El Maleh Rachamim, God full of mercy, at the end that really, really pierced the soul. And this morning at 10 o'clock, the whole of Israel came to an absolute standstill, including traffic, including healthcare professionals in hospitals, and many of us on our balconies as we stood with our heads bowed in memory of the 6 million. What has been very moving is because of the situation and because of social distancing, the city of Jerusalem made sure that every survivor in the city had a volunteer posted outside their homes so that the survivor wouldn't feel so alone and so apart. And in various other parts of the country, police stood sentinel outside the homes of Holocaust survivors and saluted them. And it's a very, very difficult day, as you can hear, a very, very emotional day. And next week we mark Yom HaZikaron, which is the annual day where we commemorate our fallen soldiers and victims of terror. Now, at the moment, because many families are unable to go to the cemeteries to remember their fallen, there's quite a lot of discussion and dispute going on how we make this possible. And right now the government is discussing a possible solution of staggering visits for families so that they will be able to honor their loved ones who have fallen in defense of the state of Israel or as victims of terror, as we would do every year. It will also mark next week Yom Ha'atzmaut, Independence Day, and this year there will be no flyover and no major celebrations in keeping with the current situation around the world. And moving from there to more positive news, and after a year-long impasse, 3 elections and countless negotiations, we are proud to say Israel finally has a national unity emergency government, and this was signed in just moments before Yom Hashoa came in last night between Blue and White Chair Benny Gantz and Prime Minister Netanyahu. So what does the deal entail? The deal, as we know at the moment, entails a revolving premiership between Gantz and Netanyahu. Netanyahu will stay in as Prime Minister until September next year, until when Benny Gantz will assume the role of Prime Minister. Currently, he will hold the Defense Minister portfolio, and the portfolio of Foreign Minister will be held by Gabi Ashkenazi, also from the Blue and White, and it is rumored that Yariv Levin from Likud will be the Speaker of the Knesset. And while the ministries currently are at 32, they are expected to possibly swell to 36. And there are a few ministerial posts that haven't been given, such as of strategic affairs and internal security. Those will be under discussion, but very, very controversially, Litzman from United Torah Judaism retains his post as the health minister. So at last we do have a government, and we can get to the important business of discussing budgets and dealing with the big threat that we all face at the moment, which is COVID-19. And while we're talking about COVID-19, just those stats for the day: a 100-year-old woman has passed away, bringing the death toll to 182. This is 5 more than yesterday. But the stats today are as follow: 13,883 people or current cases. This does include cases where people have recovered, and that is 170 up on yesterday, which is not surprising because Israel has been increasing its testing. In serious condition, 142, which is 7 less than yesterday. 113 on ventilators, which is 6 less than yesterday. As I just mentioned, 182 fatalities. But also 4,383 people have fully recovered, and this is 304 more than yesterday, which is almost double the amount of people who have recovered, including a 45-year-old man who was in a coma and was one of the first patients. He has come out of his coma and will hopefully make a full recovery. So those are your top stories from Israel today. You can check out our special Yom Hashoa coverage on Facebook and on our website. Our website is www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook page has included some current articles by people like Trisha Schweitzer, but also some stories from our archives from Stephanie Hodis, Dr. Tessa Schlush, and myself. And don't forget that if we're talking social media, we also have a YouTube channel. This is at the Israel Brief, and we would love you to subscribe. All you have to do is simply click on the subscribe button. So on this very, very solemn day, and ending with the thought that our hearts are filled with remembrance, with memory, with honoring our 6 million. May their memories forever be blessed and remembered. I am Rolene Marks, and this is the Israel Brief.